Well, students, welcome in fourth video of the chapter What is Democracy and Why Democracy to all students of class 9th. Children, the term why democracy, we had already discussed about what is democracy and the features of democracy. Okay, there were four features of democracy, and we also discussed the simple definition of democracy and the debate that was held in the class. Once again, an argument broke out in Madam Lingdo's class in Meghalaya. She had finished teaching the previous section on what is democracy. Okay, she had taught the students what is democracy and asked the students if they thought democracy was the best form of government. She asked to the students whether democracy was the best form of government or not. Everyone had something to say. All students had some new answers to say. Okay, so what happened? Here, let's see what kind of debate took place. Yolanda, she is a girl. We live in democratic country. All over the world, people want democracy. Yolanda is telling that we are the citizen of a democratic country, and in all over world, people wants to live in democracy. Countries that were not democratic earlier are becoming democratic now. She is telling that there were many countries who were not democratic earlier. They are now becoming democratic now. So all great people have said nice things about democracy. According to Yolanda, that every great people had said nice things about democracy. Isn't it obvious that democracy is the best? It is not sufficient that democracy is best because many people has told. Do we need to debate this? Shall we discuss over it again and again? Another student tells, her name is Tengkini. She told, but Lingdo ma'am had said we should not accept something just because it is famous. These definitions, their quotations were famous. That's why only we should not accept it. Just because everyone else accepts it. However, everyone accept, but there should be something. Isn't it possible that everyone is following a wrong path? It may happen that everybody is following a wrong path. Now Jenny is talking about this. Jenny told, yeah, it is actually is a wrong path. What was democracy brought to our country? Jenny told that what democracy brought for the country. 7 decades of democracy and there is so much poverty in the country. 70 years has passed in India after democracy, but still there is a lot of poverty. People are still suffering, begging. People are still have low income and they are not able to get every type of facilities. Then how can we say that democracy is better? Really young girl, she are told that, but what has democracy got to do with it? It's not the matter for democracy. Do we have poverty because we are democratic? In our country there is poverty, people are poor because we are democratic. Or do we have poverty despite being a democracy? Or because of poverty we are having democracy? So in this way they were talking about, and later on another student joined. Her name is Zeni. She asked, whatever, how does it make difference? The point is that this can't be the best form of government. She is telling that whatever differences are there, but democracy cannot be a best form of government. Democracy is all about chaos. Everybody what they think they do. Instability. There is no balance in the society, in politics. Everywhere there is instability. So, and corruption is everywhere, hypocrisy is everywhere, people are just making fool to everyone. Politicians fights among themselves. Generally politicians used to fight with each other. Then how can we say that democracy is better? Who cares for the country? Very few people thinks about the country. And most of the people, they don't care about country. Another student, poemon. So what should we have instead? Then if we don't like democracy, then what should be there? Go back to the British rule. He is asking that should we go to British rule? Invite some kings to rule this country? Shall we invite any monarchy ruler like Louis XVI to rule over India? Rose asking, I don't know. I think that this country needs is a strong leader. Rose is telling that this country requires a very, very strong leader, someone who does not have to bother about elections and parliament, and that ruler should not bother about the election and parliament. One leader should have all the powers. One leader should be given all powers, and he should be able to do whatever is needed in country's interest, and he should be given chance to do whatever country need, what is the interest of country. In that favor he have to take decision. That alone can remove corruption, and that single person alone, by his order and law, he can remove corruption and poverty from this country. Someone shouted, that is called dictatorship. From the class backside, some student told that this is a dictatorship. Hoi, what is that person starts using all these powers to himself and his family? What if he is corrupt himself? Hoi is telling that if then what kind of person it should be that who has such type of power for himself and his family? What if he is corrupt himself? If that person has become himself corrupt, then what will happen? So Rose is telling, I am speaking only of the honest, sincere and strong leader. Rose is telling that that leader should be honest, sincere and strong leader. Hoi is telling, but what is not fair? That is not fair. You are not comparing a real democracy with an ideal dictatorship. You should not compare. You are comparing a real democracy with an ideal dictatorship. That will be an ideal dictatorship. And here, real democracy is going to be compared. We should compare an ideal with ideal. Who is telling that democracy should be ideal and dictatorship should be ideal? Then we compare the real with real. Go and check the record of dictators in real life. You can check the record of every dictator, their real life record. You will find everything clear. They are most corrupt. All dictators were corrupt, selfish nature and brutal, means they had no, you can say kindness towards anyone. It is just that we don't get to know about this. And what is worse, you can't even get rid of them. Once a dictator leader comes, then it is very difficult to remove him. So this discussion was going on, and the teacher Madam Lingdo was listening to the discussion with interest. Now she stepped in. She was standing outside and was listening their discussion. Now she stepped in, she entered in the class. Now she is telling, I was delighted to see you all arguing so passionately. Ma'am Lingdong is very happy. She told that I am very happy that you had been discussing. You were making arguments so interestingly, so passionately. I don't know who is right and who is wrong. I could not listen whole debate, and I can't say that who is right and who is wrong. That is for you to settle. But I think first everybody settle down. But I did feel that you all wanted to speak your mind. I feel that everybody was talking with his or her own mind. You may have felt very bad if someone tried to stop you. And if someone tried to stop you, it would have very unfriendly and very bad. You felt very bad. If someone punished you for saying what you felt, and she is also telling, if someone punished you, if somebody come and punish you, what you were talking about, that was not fair. So would you be able to do that in a country that is not democratic? Ma'am Lingdo asked to every student that, children, are you able to do everything in the country which is not democratic? Is that a good argument for democracy? She is asking whether this is a good argument for democracy. Okay, let us discuss about arguments against democracy. Children, in this conversation, we have seen that arguments that we daily hear against democracy. Let us go over some of these arguments. The very first argument is leaders keep changing in democracy. Mostly people we have seen, we have listened from the mouth of most of the people that in democracy people keeps changing. This leads to instability. That's why the previous leader, what program he launched, started, it was stopped, and right now new programs starts being launched. So this is instability in the society. People became habitual of that policy, habitual of that program. Now they have to change everything. So this is not stability. Okay. Second argument was seen against democracy was that democracy is all about political competition. It is heard from many people's mouth that democracy is only political competition. Political leaders makes competition with each other, and it is totally power play. Those parties who are in power, they suppress others. So there is no scope for morality. Why people's value are declining, they are reducing. There is no chance of morality. Okay, their moral nature that are declining, that are going down. Third argument is so many people have to be consulted in democracy that it leads to delay. They are telling that in democracy, in decision making, there is a lot of delay. So because why it happens? Because they have to consult so many people, and it takes a long period, and the criminal, they moves here and there freely. And next, fourth point is elected leaders do not know best interest of people. Generally, when leaders are elected, very rare leaders are there who know about the people. Most of the people, they are not aware of what is the interest of the people and never takes interest in common people, and it leads to bad decision. That's why they can't take proper decision about their area, about their locality, isn't it? So children, democracy leads to corruption. Okay, democracy leads to corruption, and it is based on electoral competition, isn't it? Democracy is always leads to corruption, and it is totally, you can say, based on power play, and you can say electoral competition is always there, and people use money and muscle power. That is corruption. Okay, ordinary people don't know what is good for them. Then general people who are not so literate, they are busy in their daily works, they are busy in agricultural activity, they are busy in labor activity. They don't know about the country, what is good or what is bad. They should not decide anything, and they have no chance to take any kind of decision. Understand? So are there some other arguments against democracy? Of course, there can be some more also that we have think of. Which of these arguments applies mainly to democracy? He is asking a question. She is asking that which of these arguments applies mainly for democracy, and which of these can apply to misuse of any form of government. Understand? Corruption is misuse. Which of these do you agree with? Clearly, democracy is not a magical solution for all the problems. Understand? There is no magic. There is no, Aladdin lamp which can solve the problem of every citizen in democracy. It has not ended poverty in our country. However, democracy was not able to end poverty in India and in other parts of the world. democracy is a form of government only ensures that people take their own decision. Okay, democracy is a form of government in which common people will take their own decision. This does not guarantee that their decision will be good. If every common people are given chance to take decision, then everybody has not proper mind, sound mind. Understand? They are not so mature, so intelligent. So there is not guarantee that their decision will be good. So people can make mistakes. In this manner, common people can make mistake. So involving the people in these decisions does lead to delay in decision making. That's why there is a lot of delay, because we have to discuss, we have to consult with the experts. And it is also true that democracy leads to frequent changes in leadership. There is no doubt. Leadership generally changes in democracy, and it frequently changes after 5 years. Sometimes this can set back big decisions and affect the government's efficiency. Sometimes what happens, leadership, they are set back. Sometimes it takes a lot of time to take big decision, and the efficiency of government is affected. Means their way of capacity of doing work and taking decision, that are affected. So these arguments show that democracy of the kind we see may not be an ideal form of government. Whatever democracy we are seeing right now, it may not be an ideal form of government, but that is not a question we face in real life. This is not the question that we face in real life. The real question we face is quite different. Is democracy better than other forms of government that are for us to choose from? They are telling, if there is any form of government which is better than democracy from which we are going to choose, then we will choose the right government. But democracy is the best form, and there is no other form of government is prevalent. Understand? Now we will talk about arguments in favor of democracy. Okay, children? That is, China's famine of 1958-1961 was the worst recorded famine in the world of history. You have seen that in 58-61 in China there was worst famine, means nothing could grow, nothing could produce, and nearly 3 crore people died in this famine. 3 crore people were died in the famine that occurred in China. During those days, India's economical condition was not much better than China, and it was the time when India's economical condition was not better. Yet India did not have famine of the kind of China. Still, India had not received such type of famine. Economists think, okay, what economists think? Economists think that this was the result of different government policies in the two countries. The famine was the result of, according to economists, the expert of economy, they told that the phenomena that came in China was quite different because of different government policies in the two countries. The existence of democracy in India made the Indian government respond to food scarcity in a way that the Chinese government did not. In India there was democratic system, understand, and it responded to food scarcity. If there was scarcity of food, then government of India had made arrangement from other countries, and this thing could not happen in China because there was communist government and it was a single party. They point out that no large scale famine has ever taken place in an independent and democratic country. People, they used to give argument that such countries which are democratic, there is no large scale famine like China. China is not a democratic country, that's why large famine took place. But in India and America, because of democracy, they could not receive a large famine ever after independence, not before. Before independence, India also received famine under British government. If China too had multi-party elections, economists said that if China has multi-party election, means if there are many party in China, because in China there is only one party, an opposition party, and press free to criticize the government. And if press is there which is free to criticize the government, then so many people may not have died in the famine. Then at that time, millions of people who died in Chinese famine, they could be saved because of they had criticized government's policy, and they had made changes because of demonstration. Then many people's life could be saved in China. This example brings out one of the reasons why democracy is considered the best form of government. This is one of the best reasons that why democracy is considered the best form of government. So after studying this incidents, we can say that democracy is the best form of government, because the country where there is democracy, there is less probability of famine that took place in China. This is the plus point for the democracy. This example brings out one of the reasons why democracy is considered the best form of government, and democracy is better than any other form of government in responding to the needs of the people. Because in democracy, the leaders, they respond to the needs of the people. They try to fulfill their aspiration, their demands. A non-democratic government may and can respond to the people's needs. They can respond to the people's need, but they never does. But it all depends on the wishes of the people who rule. It is the wish of ruler. Okay? If he wish, then he will respond. If he do not wish, he will not respond. So if the rulers don't want to, they don't have to act according to the wishes of the people. Okay, if ruler don't want to help people, then they will not act like the wishes of the people. So a democracy requires that the rulers have to attend to the needs of the people. Okay, the main requirement of the democracy is that rulers have to attend to the needs of the people. Means a democratic government is a better government because it is more accountable to form. Democracy is more accountable form of government. It can give every account to the common people if anybody asks. Okay, so democratic government is a better government because it is a more accountable form of government. Okay, children. So why democracy is the best form of government? A democratic government is a best government because it is more accountable form of government. There is another reason why democracy should lead to better decisions than any non-democratic government. Means democracy is based on consultation and discussion. Okay, children? Consultation and discussion, and a democratic decision always involves many persons. While taking decision in democracy, many peoples are involved. Discussions are taken place and meetings are held. When a number of people put their heads together, they are able to point out possible mistakes in any decision. So this makes time, it takes a lot of time, but there is a big advantage in taking time over important decision. Over important decision, time can be consumed, but it should be correct. So this reduces the chances of rash, means the chances of mistake is reduced, or irresponsible decisions are not taken, because it takes a lot of time. Many people are involved in discussion, experts are consulted, and possible mistakes are reduced. Thus democracy improves the quality of decision making. Okay, children? Democracy improves the quality of decision making. So why democracy is best form of government? Because democracy is the most accountable form of government, and democracy improves the quality of decision making. Okay, and finally this is related to the third argument that democracy provides method to deal with differences and conflicts. Okay, democracy always provides method to deal with differences. Differences means ethnic compositions such as language difference, caste difference, class difference, tribe difference. So and the conflicts, they means democracy provides many types of method to deal with the differences and conflicts in democracy. So in many society, people are bound to have differences of opinions and interest. Okay children, in most of the society, people have differences of opinion. Their opinions are different, their interests are different. So these differences are particularly sharp in country like ours, because India has a huge diversity. Many types of people, many types of things are happening, which has an amazing social diversity. India has a very amazing social diversity. Its society is diverse. Many types of religious people, several language people, and several tribal peoples lives. Okay, so people belong to different regions, speak different languages, practice different religions, and have different caste. There is no doubt. So they took at the world very differently and have different preferences. Okay children, so the preferences of one group can clash with those of other groups. Suppose there are Islam religion and Hinduism religion. Sometimes they talk about their preferences and they clashed, but now it does not happen, because now they have become developed understanding. How do we resolve such a conflict? Such type of conflict can be resolved. The conflict can be solved by brutal power. There should be army, there should be police who could suppress these clashes. Whichever group is more powerful will dictate its terms, and others will have to accept that. In democracy, that group which is most powerful, they will try to start dictatorship, and those who are weaker, they will accept. But that would lead to resentment and unhappiness. What will happen? Communities, they will become angry, they will remain unhappy, and they will try to find out the opportunity to fight again. So different groups may not be able to live together for long in such a way. Okay children, so in democracy, if conflicts are not resolved properly, then they will not live together for long. So democracy provides the only peaceful solution to this problem. It is democracy which provides peaceful solution to this problem. So in democracy, no one is a permanent winner. Okay children, sometime that community win, and after that another community win. So no one is a permanent loser also in democracy. So different groups can live with one another peacefully in democracy. Okay, so in a diverse country like India, democracy keeps our country together. There is a lot of diversity in our India, but it is democracy that keeps us to live together. These three arguments were about the effects of democracy on the quality of government and social life. Okay, these three arguments in favor of democracy increases the quality of government and social life. But the strongest argument for democracy is not about what democracy does to the government. The strongest argument is that what democracy does for the government. It is about what democracy does to the citizen, and what is the role of democracy towards citizen. Even if democracy does not bring about better decisions and accountable government, it is still better than other forms of government, because democracy enhances the dignity of citizen. Okay, children, it increases the value of citizen. It gives respect to every citizen. It gives, you can say, increases the dignity. As we discussed above, democracy is based on the principle of political equality. In democracy, there is a political equality on recognizing that the Poorest and the least educated has the same status as the rich and the educated. In democracy, whether they are poor or rich, everybody have same status. People are not subjects of a ruler. Okay, people are not ruler, they are the rulers themselves. People rule themselves. Even when they make mistakes, they are responsible for their conduct. People are responsible for the mistakes. Finally, democracy is better than other forms of government because it allows to us to correct its own mistake. Democracy allows us to correct our own mistake. As we saw above, there is no guarantee that mistakes cannot be made in democracy. Anybody can make mistake. No form of government can guarantee that. And the advantage in a democracy is that such mistakes cannot be hidden for long. But mistakes are not hidden. There is a space for public discussion on these mistakes. Public discuss on these mistakes and there is a room for correction. It again gives chance to the person to correct their mistakes. Either the rulers have to change their decisions or the rulers can be changed. Either ruler should change their decisions or he should change. This cannot happen in a non-democratic government. In non-democratic government, everybody will be there. Okay, children? Let us sum up. Democracy cannot get up everything and is not the solution of all problems. Democracy cannot get solution of everything, every problem, but it is clearly better than any other alternative that we know. It offers better chances of a good decision. It is likely to respect people's own wishes and allows different kinds of people to live together. Even when it fails to do some of these things, it allows a way of correcting its mistake and offers more dignity to all citizens. That is why democracy is considered the best form of government. Okay children, in next video we will discuss the remaining portion.